Longhorns. It's Mrs. Rodriguez. It's Monday, September 14th. I just wanted to touch base with you on what you're doing. We have a really busy week writing a personal narrative this week, and you have a couple of hard deadlines that you have to meet. So let's get started. Make sure you are doing the warm-up every single day, because that's how we count your virtual attendance. If you don't do that, then you will not be counted present. Let's take a look at the personal anecdote mini lesson next. This is a short PowerPoint talking about what a personal anecdote is and how it is written. Then we're going to get right into the personal narrative rubric. We're going to take a look at that here. It shows you very clearly that a score point of a 1 is a numerical grade of a 50 to a 69. This means that you do not stay on topic, you do not answer the prompt, you lack focus, you do not have appropriate and sufficient details, and scrolling all the way down to the bottom of the rubric, it means that your word choice is vague, it sounds simplistic and awkward, and most importantly, you did not use proper capitalization, spelling, punctuation, and grammar. Yes, we take points off for every single one of those things. Going back up, a score point of a 2 would be a 70 to a 79. This would be a basic writing performance, meaning that you did answer the prompt, but it was very limited in details. It was repetitive and wordy. It lacked transitions. And then about moving down again, you only had partial command over your sentence boundaries, your capitalization, punctuation, grammar, and spelling, meaning that there were a lot of mistakes there. All right, moving over to a score point of 3, you can score between an 80 and an 89 if you get a 3. You answered the prompt for the most part. It was clearly conveying the experience. Most of the details were focused and understandable or coherent. There was some substance to it, meaning that it told a good story. It was realistic, and the situation was realistic sounding and had reasonable motivations behind the behaviors that you're describing. You had adequate command over those conventions, your spelling, capitalization, puncture, and grammar. If you get a score point of a 4, that's a 90 to 100, which is the equivalent of making commended, which is always our goal in these writing situations. That means that your writing was appropriate for the purpose. It was skillfully crafted. All of the details were focused and specific. It was your well-chosen details that were thoughtful and engaging, and you had consistent command over those writing conventions. Now, what I'd like to do is take a look next at the a narrative example. We read the Ishmael Bey narrative last week. That was an example, but here's my own personal narrative example I wanted to share with you. So follow along. It says, conquering a challenge keeps a mind sharp. That belief led me to make a major life decision about 6 years ago. In May of 2015, I had been teaching elementary school for nearly 15 years. The lessons, activities, and days just seemed to be repeating. I needed a change and spent a great deal of time trying to figure out what to do about that. As a result, I decided to apply for a transfer and move to the high school level. Starting over is overwhelming but exciting. On August 8, 2015, I started a new chapter in my life as a high school English teacher. To begin, I had to figure out where in this huge building my first meeting was being held and make sure I was on time. I did not know a single person. Honestly, I felt like a freshman on the first day at a brand new school with butterflies in my stomach and a map in my hand. Luckily, I was confident in my ability to teach and knew the rest would fall into place with time. So I walked down the huge hallways in awe. This building was so much bigger than the elementary school I was used to. There were so many different hallways and doors. Finally, I made it to the cafeteria with a bright smile and willing to learn attitude. I proudly displayed my name tag on my chest and joined a table of fellow teachers. The fact that I took such a gigantic leap from teaching 3rd grade to 9th grade made an interesting conversation topic, and I was easily accepted as one of the staff members because everyone wanted to know my story. As the day wore on, I found that I actually had nothing to worry about and my nerves calmed. Taking a risk and stepping out of my comfort zone has been very rewarding. It is that challenge that allows me to continue to grow as a teacher. I love teaching high school English, and I am so proud of myself for making the move. A couple of things I wanted to point out to you is this is a rough draft. This was just me sitting down and getting my narrative idea down on paper. What I want you to see that I did indent each new paragraph. I had 3. I had an introduction, I had a body, this is the meat of it. This is where I did all of my descriptive writing. I stayed focused. You should have been able to picture this in your mind as I was going through it. And then that conclusion. Those are the 3 required paragraphs as you're writing this. Introduction, body, conclusion on this narrative. As we move later into writing, the 3 bodies will turn into 4. The 3 paragraphs will turn into 4. But for now, this is what we're doing on the narrative. I hope you could hear my voice and my tone here. That I was nervous, but then as the day went on and I described exactly why I was nervous, and then I described as the day went on how I had calmed my nerves. So what we're going to do now is actually take a look at your narrative prompt. So the prompt that you're going to be writing about begins with a statement that says, read the information in the box. And that's exactly what you're going to do. You're just going to read this. It's just to get your mind flowing. There are many people that cross our paths in life. Sometimes we actually get to know them, but other times we only know about them. So what I suggest is if you're having a hard time coming up with something to hook your reader in your essay, that very first sentence, like on my essay, the first sentence said, conquering a challenge keeps a mind sharp. You might find something here in this box to help you with your hook, but you're going to need to rewrite it into your own words. If you don't, then that's plagiarism, and we can't have that. So the next thing on our paper is a think about it statement. All you're doing is thinking about what it's saying, okay? It says, a person's actions can have a huge impact in life. Yeah, everybody's actions can have an impact. Some actions have a negative impact, some actions have a positive impact. Then we get to the write. This is our actual topic, the one that starts with the word write. Write an essay about a time you made an impact. This is what you're writing about, a time that you made an impact. Okay, so a time that you made a difference. I suggest you focus on a positive difference. Okay, maybe it was something that you did for a grandparent, something that you did to help them. Maybe it was something that you did to help mom or dad. Maybe it was something that you taught to a sibling. Maybe you taught them how to ride their bike. That's an impact. Maybe it's a friend. Maybe you helped a friend in need. Okay? You have to figure out who or what you impacted. This doesn't say it has to be a person, does it? So it can be a who or it can be a what. What is something that you may have impacted? Maybe you scored the winning touchdown in a football game. That's an impact. Maybe you had to call 911 because someone was hurt and needed help. That's a positive impact. Okay, maybe you carried someone's groceries in the grocery store because they couldn't do it themselves. That's a positive impact. But you're going to choose who or what you impacted, and that's what you're going to write about it. The key here is it's one thing, and you've got to focus on one thing. Okay, we're not writing a life story. It's one event that you made an impact. Okay, one time. All right, so let's take a look at what else we have on Canvas for today, because you're going to go ahead and get started on the planning process. We have provided you with the planning sheet. Let's look at the directions. Complete the graphic organizer for your personal narrative outline. Write and complete sentences. So this is one that will help you get started in thinking about what you might write about. The only requirement here is that you do write and complete sentences, and this is the document that you will need to either save to a jump drive, save to your desktop, take a picture of, and submit on Canvas by tomorrow, September the that should say 15th. I'm going to have to change that. It's due by Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. It is a minor grade. So I will change that date right there. It is due by Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. So after you have done your warm-up, you viewed the PowerPoint, I've shared my personal narrative story with you, you get your writing prompt out and you start to plan it out. This planning is due by 11:59 tomorrow night. And then we will be writing our rough draft as soon as that planning is done. Email me if you have any questions. Bye.